Hi guys, hope you all are well. I'm Keshav Kishore Chhipa and welcome to my new video. In this video, we're gonna talk about sharing rules. So sharing rules are the very efficient way to maintain the data integrity in Salesforce. Through the sharing rules, we can just extend our record access beyond the organization-wide default. As we all know that the organization-wide default is the baseline record access to a particular object. So we do have some best practice in the sharing rule as well that make sure that you're reviewing or auditing your sharing rules regularly, because we need to be make sure that our business requirement and the business processes should be in aligned, because sometimes the business requirement is so off the mark that it just break our business process sometimes, right? And apart from this, few times there should be a case that you came up across a very complex record access requirement. If that is not achieving by the sharing rules, you can just follow the apex managed sharing, because as this is a declaratory tool and the declaratory tool is so limited, right? So it is not it's not in the case of the coding, right? So we can achieve by the apex managed sharing as well. So without any delay, let's jump onto the demo. So here we go in the sharing setting. You can just search the sharing setting over here, and by clicking on that, you jump onto this page. So here the organization wide default is private, so as the external access. So we're gonna create a one demo sharing rule for the account. So if you just go down below the organization wide default table, there's account sharing rules. So you can just create a new one. So here we go. So here we have a rule type of record owner and based on the criteria. So let's suppose you do have a one requirement that the record owned by some public group should be assigned to some public group, or the record owned by some roles or the subordinate should be assigned to some role or subordinate. So you can just do it via this. And based on the criteria, let's suppose if we talk about the account sharing rule, for a case that we do have a rating field on the account. So rating field, if should be hot, then it should be assigned to some roles, and the role is the action sales time, right? So in this, what I've done here, the account, those rating is hot, it should be accessible by this Eastern sales team rule users. So I'm just giving here the account contact access is read only. The contact is giving is a read only. Opportunity I'm taking as a private, and the case access I'm giving is read write. Okay. So by which we can just creating the account sharing rule. We can just give a name over here that the Eastern sales team access hot accounts. Okay, so this is our rule name over here. So let's save it. So sometimes it's take time, it's because there are some IPs which is hitting for this. So if you can go the account waiting hot and make sure that it should be inactive. So sharing rule is done over here, and so this is one of the users, the standard user, and if this user has a Eastern sales role assigned. So if we can go here now, it has a three account. One is owned by himself, this KK standard user, and the other two is owned by me. But in on these two accounts, the rating should be hot. So that's how you can just create a sharing rule. And as I've given that its account is read only, so we should not supposed to edit this, right? So let's suppose if I'm editing something, the ownership, no, let's say type, right? So by clicking on the save, it just give us error that you don't have access. So that's how the sharing rule work and all. And this is all about the sharing rule. So you can just create so many sharing rules by this, and we do have some limitations on that as well. So these are the OWD white default. I'll just capture this OWD default, the whole, what's the basically the reason behind in this organization wide default in a different video. So here you can just create sharing rules. You can just recalculate as well. So it just updates, and it, let's suppose the Eastern sales time, you have been deleted this Eastern sales time rule. So if you just recalculate it will give you error over here that this is not a valid sharing rule, right? So make sure that you are reviewing and auditing by just clicking on the recalculator. That's why this button is given here, right? So you can just create so many sharing rules on a different particular objects and all. You can just create a sharing rule on the custom objects as well. So this is all about the sharing rules. Thank you.